decade after decade. ALS, a progressive neurodegenerative disease that robs its victims of muscle movement, is 100% fatal, according to the ALS Association. Most sufferers are diagnosed in their 50s, as opposed to the young age Hawking was. Only half live more than 5 years. Given just 2 years to live when he received his diagnosis, Hawking went on to have a lifetime of achievements, including his 1988 best-selling book, A Brief History of Time, which translated the complex fundamentals of physics into simple language. As the world's best-known physicist, he became a pop culture fixture, as well with a 2012 cameo on The Big Bang Theory.
Professor Hawking, it's an honor and a privilege to meet you, sir.
I know.
And a movie based on his improbable life and career, The Theory of Everything, in 2014. And that's your entertainment wrap-up. For NBC News Radio, I'm Andrew Caravella.
You've tuned in to KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
The views of the following show are not necessarily the views of broadcast management or its owner, Fred Lundgren. But then again, the views of broadcast management are, well, different. And now it's time for On the Mark Live with host Mark Westwood. Finally, a show about KCAA. Hot topics, a little locomotion, current events, news, laugh, reviews, and a little irreverence. And you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1, Mark.
And is it Wednesday today? I get confused.
Hump Day.
I'm Mark Westwood, along with Andrew Caravella.
Hello.
And Carlos Gonzalez in the control room. And we have a couple of guests today. We're going to start off with Amy Lynn Demano.
Yeah.
Demano. I was going to say Demonico, but it's Demano.
Sounds Italian.
Amy Lynn Demano. And she has helping other people with music therapy. She's a music therapy studio.
I do.
She does. And we're going to talk about music therapy in a little bit.
Okay.
We're also going to talk about the Latino Education and Advocacy Days happening at Cal State University San Bernardino.
Very cool.
With Dr. Enrique Murillo, who are waiting for him to arrive. So if you know Dr. Murillo, say, aren't you supposed to be at KCAA right now?
Yeah, he's en route right now.
Thank God we had Amy here, Demano. And it's right on the back of her business card. I can read it now. And we're going to talk about this wonderful concept of music. And now, Andrew, I'm a musician.
Okay.
And so are you.
Yes.
So you're sitting between two musicians and music lovers.
It's extremely exciting.
So you're gonna have to sell me then on this.
Okay, I'm gonna sell you. You ready?
I'm an easy
Are
sale.
you sitting down? You are.
I am
ready.
sitting down.
Okay.
I'm
All
buying
right.
this already before we're even on the program. I think music is like one of the most wonderful things on the entire planet.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what music therapy is?
Yes, let's talk about what music therapy is.
Give you the clinical definition.
Clinical.
Oh, so clinical. So
Put on your lab coat.
Yeah, here we go.
I can put on my little sign. All right. So music therapy is the science of using music to help people achieve non-musical goals. So I'm not a music teacher. We're not trying to make you a better singer. That may be what you wanted. I don't know. I'm not trying to teach you how to play an instrument necessarily or to become a better musician of any kind. We're using music as the vehicle to get to non-musical goals. So music therapists work in all different types of areas. They specialize just like doctors do. I happen to work with folks that have life challenges related to grief, trauma, depression, anxiety, anything in the mental health, addictions.
Well, kind of makes sense. You know, body is nothing but electrons and movement and vibrations.
Yep.
And that's what music is nothing but sine waves and...
Smart man.
Yeah, well, they say so. I do a good imitation on the radio.
Yeah, he has a radio show.
Does he? Oh, I should get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play a smart person on the radio.
Yeah.
Okay.
But otherwise, everybody else around here knows that. Well, maybe not.
I play a tall person out there.
Be careful, I'm your boss, Andrew.
So, I mean, is it any genre of music could be used?
Again, it depends on who your client is, right? So you're going to use music that's appropriate for that client and their goals. So, the goals are non-musical. So in my field, in mental health, the goals are going to be the same things that you would see any other quote-unquote therapist for. Relaxation, stress management, working through trauma, working through depression, working through grief, working through any kind of life changes, postpartum, anything that happens.
Stress management.
Stress management. I mean, lots of people are walking around pretty well, taking care of their kids, going to work, living life, but they run into problems, and life is full of stuff. So I
Right.
hear.
It is full of stuff. I want to tell you that I just came back from my full body massage
Yes.
How was that?
with another chamber member.
Yeah, he has scheduled ones because he has a lot of stress.
Yeah, well, good for him. Self-care is incredibly important, and we're talking about wellness here.
So I'm going to give a plug real quick for
Yeah.
that, and
Oh,
and
please
that
do.
is called Pain Solutions Medical Massage.
Nice.
And so we'll have to get you guys together because maybe stress management, things like that, music therapy. HOPE, the
Hope.
acronym stands for.
Stands for helping others purposely evolve.
Okay.
Yeah, so we believe that the answers are actually within you. I don't have the magic dose. I don't have the magic, crystal ball. That would be neat, but we don't work that way. You actually have the answers. I'm going to help you find them.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
The answers are within you.
That's right. And I'm going to use music to do that. I actually specialize in a method called the Bonnie method of guided imagery and music.
Bonnie method of guided imagery and,
And
music.
music.
And what
Yes.
does that look like?
So Helen Bonnie, do I have a minute to tell you about Helen Bonnie?
You do.
Okay. Helen Bonnie, no longer living, wonderful. She died about 10 years ago. She was a music therapist and a psychotherapist, and she programmed the music for the LSD trials of the late 1960s, the Maryland Psychiatric Institute. I know, it's getting exciting here.
Yeah.
So she put the music together when people would come in to go on their trips. Right? So what she learned over time was that people could have these same out-of-body spiritual wisdom, enlightenment experiences completely sober, no drugs at all, if the music was programmed properly. And so she developed this method over a period of years, and now there's a Bonnie Institute.
And maybe you combine that a little bit maybe with some aromatherapy.
Sometimes they're actually separate services. So I do have the Bonnie method is an individual 90-minute session.
Right.
So it's just me and you and the music.
Bonnie method.
Yep,
and
the Bonnie
music.
method. So it's just an individual session. That's 90 minutes in length, and but I also offer at my studio lots of different groups for wellness in general because people get well in all kinds of ways. It's what works for one person does not work for
So you have
another
like group
person.
therapy, more than one person.
Yes, more than one person. So we have drumming, we have combination workshops with aromatherapy. We're starting a yoga and music therapy combination starting next month. So lots of different things to stay well.
The drums thing sounds like something I would get involved in.
The drums
I
are
love it. I love drums. Ever since I was at UC Berkeley and they had the drums out.
I'd love to do the
campus.
yoga one. I think that'd be fun.
But
Yes,
see,
you should come.
yogurt is not for me.
No, yoga.
Oh, yoga.
You get yogurt afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was kidding, but yoga is not from. Look at me. I don't bend very well, but I would break. But at the same time, I think you should be comfortable when you have this therapy.
Yeah.
And if you can get into yoga and you can get into that lotus position, I believe it's called, and get back out of it without herniating yourself, good for you.
Well, it's about that mind, body, and spirit connection. So everything happening inside of you is going to show on the outside somewhere. So if we can become well from the inside out, we live better lives.
So I'm looking at this really kind of cool, colorful flyer you've given me, and it says something about a singing bowl.
Yes, a singing bowl. So I have lots of singing bowls. I have crystal bowls, and then I have your traditional singing bowls. They sort of look like big brass bowls, but they're not for salad.
Okay.
I use them in my meditation for goal setting, which happens on Wednesday nights. It's happening tonight at 7:30 at my studio.
Where is your studio, by the way?
I would love to tell you where my studio is. It is in Tennessee Plaza, just up the street here, 414 Tennessee, in Suite Y, as in yellow.
Or yoga.
Or yoga, nicely
Yeah.
done. No need to bring it together.
I'm on radio.
See that? See that?
So she has this website called musicempowers.com.
Yeah.
Music empowers.
And if you had to describe where your business is as surrounding businesses, what's next to it or close to it on Tennessee?
Oh, on Tennessee. So across the street is the large Christian bookstore. That really neat with all the gifts and all the great books. And then if you go directly across where we are, there's a large animal.
I know exactly where that
You
is
know
now.
where that is, where the little doggy kitty.
And
Exactly.
that's music
Hotel.
empowers, empower, not
yes.
and powers, but empowers.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, musicempowers.com.
So if somebody is like, I want to explore this. I want to see what this is like. How would they contact you?
They can go onto my website, and my email is there, my phone number is there, all of the information about guided imagery and music, about the various wellness groups that we offer, everything is available You can register online for groups. You can find more information. You can call me directly. You can email me. You can send a homing pigeon. Not really. But
Well, those are all unique ways. You know, you could skateboard over there. You can ride the bus. I think the bus goes right across Tennessee as well.
Well, the thing about music therapy, Mark, is that lots of people either have gone to therapy and kind of I did that, you know, kind of worked for me, kind of didn't, or they felt stuck, or they said that's not for me, you know. And this is an alternative, and it's drug-free, and it's healthy, and it's fun.
All kinds of approaches here.
Right,
Do-it-yourself aromatherapy rollerball. I'm throwing that one out.
All right.
Let's hear that.
It's on my flyer. He's reading my flyer.
That's crazy.
So
Of course I am.
I'm trying to combine music therapy with other wellness.
Music is a part of
idioms.
everybody's life. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful
Exactly.
thing about it. You know, when you're born in the emergency room. No, I mean not the
Wow.
music. And the what do they call that where you're born? The
maternity
birthing
ward?
room, the
Birth?
maternity.
The
Yeah.
maternity.
Labor and delivery.
You know, a lot of times the doctors are playing music. You're hearing music in vitro before you're born, probably.
There are
and-
music therapists that specialize in that.
Right.
Yes.
Wow, that's an
I
interesting
don't,
one.
but there
yeah,
are.
That's an
Just-
interesting
yeah.
one, yeah. And then, you know, pretty much you're sung to, lullabied to sleep. Your mom sings to you, your dad sings to you. So music is a big part of everybody's life. And sometimes music is more in part of people's lives, like Andrew, who sings and dances. And
Well,
no, just
sometimes
kidding.
with the shades closed.
What do you like to sing? What's your
Well,
musical
pop
preference?
music.
Okay.
I'm a pop singer. Yeah.
You know, everybody that sings karaoke, and you know, me being a DJ for years, I've had to do some karaoke too. And people are like, "Oh, I can't stand karaoke." I says, "Karaoke is not for the people listening. Karaoke is for the people singing."
Okay, good. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
So why is that?
Why is that? Because
is it?
people enjoy singing. It's a release.
It's a release.
They feel the vibrations of things,
Now we're
Yeah.
talking.
and it's a stress reliever. It takes your mind away from things.
Yes, and
engulfs you.
And if we were to get technical and clinical, and we were to take blood or saliva samples from you before your
Really?
karaoke experience and after, what we would see is that the chemical makeup in your body has changed. You're going to literally feel better. The endorphins are going to get released.
That's why it's so popular in bars.
Yeah.
Well,
So if you take it after I'm singing, you're probably gonna hit a little beer.
Yeah.
No, I don't drink a lot.
People are going to feel better after
Right.
they engage in music, whether it's drumming or
Right.
whether you're listening. So in the Bonnie method, which I specialize in practicing, I'm about halfway through my training. So I'm in the level 3 training. It's about a 5-year training process. It's quite lengthy. In the Bonnie method, people are experiencing this sort of traveling experience. It's sort of like a music trip, if you will.
Yeah.
And they've chosen something specific to work on. It's very quite specific. And then I choose a program of music to go with that, to support that. The music is going to take them, and I'm going to be asking questions and taking notes. Right, and they're going to be utilizing both sides of the brain. This is where we get technical again. Right? So any music that you're listening to, it doesn't matter if it's mariachi music or pop music or anything. It could be anything.
Or mariachi pop music.
Or mariachi pop music.
Yeah.
You need the whole of your brain to process it. So if we take it into a therapeutic setting, now I've got the part of the brain that does feelings. Nothing more than, right?
More somebody, yeah.
And then I've got the
Albert, I
part
think.
who's got the part that organizes and is rational. And see, in regular therapy, we're just using one side of that. So we're just talking, and that's great, and it works, and there's definitely feelings happening, but we're not accessing the whole brain. So when we include music in the process, now your whole brain's working, and that is incredibly helpful for supporting change.
Right. And that change that you're looking for. Music's a celebration of life.
I agree.
You have it at your wedding. You have it at your funeral.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have it all in between. And it evokes all kinds of emotions. Minor chords evoke certain...
Said to be sad.
Said to be sad.
But not true for everybody.
Right.
Everybody has a different interpretation. See?
Right.
So that's my questions are always going to be, what are you experiencing? What is the music saying to you?
You know, if you have a fifth above middle C, perfect fifth, what do you hear? Star Wars.
Right. Strongest.
Dun,
that's the strongest
dun.
interval.
Yeah,
that
it's the
exists,
strongest
Yeah.
interval.
right?
And then, you know, sixth is America. And then,
Or-
you know, a minor third.
You have a major 6, you have the NBC theme.
Yeah,
Yeah.
major six. Dun, dun, dun.
NBC.
Dun,
See?
dun,
Oh,
dun.
excited all
So anyways, I have a
together.
question.
Yes, sir.
You get all kinds. Like you get people that have trauma,
I do.
people that face addiction.
Yes.
And I don't know if this is an appropriate question, but on average, what is a very common thing that you see come to you for music therapy?
You mean what kinds of challenges?
Yeah, just in general. Like if you had to combine them all, what are you seeing a little more of in general?
There's a lot of trauma. A lot.
Really?
Yeah, a lot
Wow.
of trauma. And because trauma spans physical, emotional, there's an incredible amount of trauma.
So you see that more than like people that are looking for stress management even?
I do, because I think
Wow.
that people that are looking for stress management are going to the gym as well as maybe engaging
get
the-
those endorphins going.
as
Yeah.
well as engaging the therapeutic service as a professional.
And you have probably young people and grief management.
Sometimes, yeah. I prefer to work with adults. I do see young people occasionally, but most of the work I'm doing, you have to be stable to do it. It's cognitive population. And so many people we tend to think of PTSD as, that's a veteran thing. It's not. Lots of people turn on the news. I mean, look at the recent news, and people go to school and they come home with trauma.
Yeah.
Right? So all
Yeah.
of that needs to be addressed. It needs to be healed. It needs to be cared for and nurtured. And that's what I do in music therapy. And sometimes it's even fun.
Wonderful. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Amy Lynn. Amy Lynn
Demano.
Demano.
You want to make me an Italian, which
Yeah,
is
I
fine.
do.
You can do
Fine.
it. It's all right.
Amy Lynn Demano.
It's all right.
And she has a music studio that does music therapy, helping others, purposely involved, Hope. And she's located here in Redlands on Tennessee Avenue. And as we go through this, I'm going to give this website off on musicempowers.com, musicempowers.com, for you to listen and learn more about it. I want to ask you, what's like the typical profile of somebody who comes into your studio? Are there more women than men, or what's the average age?
There are more women than men, but not much, because men are coming around, I think, to the idea that they have feelings too, and
Being sensitive?
No, they don't.
No, it's a lie.
Carlos is sensitive.
They get more chicks when they admit that. Men have just as much trauma as women. We just don't talk about it. It's not manly. So yeah, I see actually a lot of men.
That's what karaoke's for.
Yeah.
Oh, and sometimes that domestic kind of use of music is great. But this is more clinical, as you said.
Yeah.
This is something that, do doctors prescribe this, or how do people come to you?
They can. I can definitely be a referral source from other therapists, other medical professionals, of all of all orientations. Trying to get the word out there that it's available. A lot of people have never heard of music therapy, much less the Bonnie method, which is a very special area of it. But yeah, mostly by referral. I am doing some local advertising. I'm even on a local radio show.
There you go.
Oh my God.
There you go. So you have like weekly groups. One of them is tonight at 7:30.
Yep, and the groups are always changing. That particular one is ongoing on Wednesdays at 7:30. It's called Meditation for Goal Setting.
And about how many people would somebody encounter if they went to this?
It's a small group. It's very intimate. 5,
Okay.
6 people, very small. So it's a group with a goal. So it's not just this is fun, this feels good. We certainly want you to enjoy yourself. We want you to come out though with changed, different than when you've come in.
So you want to invest your time and your energy in this, and of course they have to make an investment because, well, they have to support your business, and you have to pay the rent and things like that.
Yes.
I see you have like some prices for groups and things like that. What is an average person's fee for coming into a group, for instance?
Groups range from $25 up to $50 for depending on if it's
individual.
individuals about double that. It's quite a bit longer. So groups or workshops are about $25 to $50, depending on what we're offering. But I like to do sliding scale. I'm trying to be a service of the community, a service to the community. In fact, I'm actually, if you look on my website, I'm actually offering to the community, please come tell me what we need here. Please come suggest a group, suggest a
feedback,
topic.
yeah.
Because I want to offer what's needed for people that are living here in Redlands of all ages, of all backgrounds.
Music is a two-way communication.
Yeah, it's for
So you have to
everyone.
have input, and you have to, all
It's
that
also
stuff.
a universal language.
This is true. This is true.
Everybody loves music of some kind.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of cultures, but there's a strain there that in every culture, race, creed, anybody known to man, there's music.
Right, and it connects directly to your art. I mean, the minute you hear a song that reminds you of something significant in your life, growing up, a wedding, a funeral.
I mean, globally, music didn't have to spread from continent to continent. I think it probably originated on every continent with every people because it comes from the soul. It comes from the inner being. And that origination then is why we have different kinds of music, but they all have a universal kind of language.
Yeah, even whales in the water sing. I mean,
Are you suggesting I should treat whales?
Hey, that would be interesting,
Well,
But I'm just saying, like,
dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, it's true though. Like, even sea creatures have music. It's a universal language.
Right, and our bodies are music, right? Our heart has a beat.
Well, it's supposed to.
It's supposed to, right? Rhythms, eyelashes blinking, brainwaves in the head. And
You sing in the shower. You sing at home. You sing when you're sad. You sing when you're happy.
I sing in rush
Can't
hour.
you tell? Okay, think of somebody that you know well, and they call you, and you pick up the phone. The minute they say hello, you sort of know what's happening with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's the intonation of the voice. And that's what we do as music therapists. We listen differently. So whether you're in a guided imagery music session and you're telling me something, I see my grandmother, she's turned into a pumpkin. How do you feel about the pumpkin? Okay? Whether it's that or you're playing a rhythm on a drum and I'm going to say to you, tell me about that rhythm. Why does that rhythm, tell me about it. And you're going to give me all the information. It's all going to come from the musical content.
So, in the last few minutes of our interview here, because we'll have you back again. This has been fun.
can't wait.
And we'll do some kind of maybe music therapy on the air, maybe.
Oh
We'll
my
think
God,
about that
this
in
is
the
so
future.
Exciting.
Tell me how you came about doing this. And
That's a good story.
Well, maybe just a little bit of throw out your little qualifications to
Okay,
do this.
I'll do that. All right.
It's not a
So-
concept or just a notion, I
Yes.
imagine.
No, I didn't think it was just something cool to do. I am a board certified music therapist, which means I had to go to school. I have an undergrad in regular old music performance and then an additional qualification for music therapy itself from CSUN out in Northridge. And then I'm also a drug and alcohol counselor.
Great music school, Cal
Yes,
State Northridge.
yes, it's a wonderful music school with its own music therapy department within
Really?
the music school. Yeah. And then I'm also drug and alcohol certified drug and alcohol counselor, specializing in that as well. So I have to keep those certifications up. They're individual; they circle at different times, but I have to do that. So, which means continuing education credits and passing exams and all of those things. So,
yeah.
I know, doesn't it sound fun? Yeah, music therapists are at this point certified, not licensed. So, that is what it is, which means I take cash, not insurance. But we study just as hard and we prepare just as long, and we're just like any other therapist. We have to go through a certain amount of hours to get internship, all the different things that therapists do to become licensed. We basically do exactly the same thing. It's just called something different. So I became a music therapist after my first career choice didn't work out. That would have been rock star.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Pour some
Are you with
sugar
me?
on it.
Yeah. This
Okay. Well, we've been talking with Amy Lynn DeMano.
Oh, you got it. You nailed it. You nailed it.
I nailed it. Well, it helped with the card. But and helping others purposely evolve. Hope Music Studios, you could call it that. And it is at 414 Tennessee Street, Unit Y, as in yoga, in Redlands. Not too hard to find, just a little bit south of Redlands Boulevard. And it's on the left-hand side of the street as you're going
if
that
you're
way.
heading south, it's on the
Yeah,
left-hand side.
Left-hand side of the street. Musicempowers.com. Musicempowers.com. And if they want to call you, would this be the phone number?
That would be the number. Would you like me to read it?
Sure.
All right. It's 323.
Mm-hmm.
That's my old LA number. 323-394-0860.
It's hard to give it up when it's a 323.
Can't do it.
323-394-0860. Hope Music Studios, guided imagery and music therapy studios with Amy Lynn DeMano.
Yay.
And it's been a privilege to have you.
Yeah.
We're going to have you back again, and thank you so much for coming. And you're such a bright star.
We'll do
out here on the
karaoke
horizon.
next time you come.
Oh, my.
Maybe one
Everybody
karaoke
keep their
song
clothes on,
apiece.
please.
We could do that. Well, thank you so much. I'm Mark Westwood with Andrew Caravella.
Yeah, in the flash.
And we will be back with Dr. Enrique Murillo and something called the LEAD program, Latino Education and Advocacy Days from Cal State University San Bernardino. It's going to be coming up March 29th. We're going to talk about that next, right after this on The Mark.
On the Mark Live with Mark Westwood, a show about KCAA, the world, and you, with more to come in a moment.
Know your rights and responsibilities. You're a hardworking student. You've grown up here. You're striving and working towards the American dream. You're a dreamer and maybe you need to renew your DACA deferral. Now is the time to take action. On January 9th, the district court ordered a halt to President Trump's efforts to terminate the deferred action for childhood arrivals, or DACA. And now the Department of Homeland Security is now accepting DACA renewal applications. Now you can get free DACA renewal assistance from the Todek Legal Center. The Todek Center may also provide you with payment assistance with up to $495 in immigration fees to renew. Stay here, stay home, stay with your family. You're valued, loved, wanted, and needed. Get free legal screening and consultation, application assistance, and legal representation. For more info, search todec.org. That's TODEC.org. Or call for upcoming workshops at 951-943-1955. That's 951-943-1955 for the Todek Legal Center. And dream on.
Locals in Loma Linda and Redlands all know and love the Family Homestyle Cafe, the home of the world's largest pancakes and the delicious mouth-watering food cooked up daily by their well-trained chefs. Sizzling thick-cut bacon, ham, and hand-pressed sausage. They take pride in the best quality, great economical values, with better portions served up with the pride of local ownership and great service. Near the corner of Anderson and Redlands Boulevard in Loma Linda, if you haven't tried out Chef Mark's Delights, you haven't had some of the best food in the area. And now, Chef Mark is upgrading his cafe and offering space for on-site gatherings, luncheons, and parties. Add a DJ for a great holiday party or luncheon, and you've got a no-fuss event with all the bells and whistles. Call Mark today at 909-478-9996. That's 909-478-9996. Or stop by the Homestyle Cafe in Loma Linda at Anderson and Redlands Boulevard.
British physicist Stephen Hawking dies at 76. This is your entertainment wrap-up for NBC News Radio. I'm Andrew Caravella. Okay, so the world has lost one of its greatest minds. Stephen Hawking, the British theoretical physicist who beat the odds his entire life, has died. According to NBC News, Hawking was the director of research in applied mathematics and theoretical physics and founder of the Center for Theoretical Cosmology at the University of Cambridge. Hawking was as famous for his insights on black holes, the existence of God, and quantum gravity as he was for his unique way of speaking while living his life in a wheelchair. Operating his trademark computer system with his cheek, Hawking gave the world insights into the unknown and gems of quotations including, "Life would be tragic if it weren't funny." Hawking became diagnosed at the age of 12 with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, also more commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Hawking proved every doctor wrong as he defied their grim prognosis decade after decade. ALS, a progressive neurodegenerative disease that robs its victims of muscle movement, is 100% fatal, according to the ALS Association. Most sufferers are diagnosed in their 50s, as opposed to the young age Hawking was. Only half live more than 5 years. Given just 2 years to live when he received his diagnosis, Hawking went on to have a lifetime of achievements, including his 1988 best-selling book, A Brief History of Time, which translated the complex fundamentals of physics into simple language. As the world's best-known physicist, he became a pop culture fixture, as well with a 2012 cameo on The Big Bang Theory.
Professor Hawking, it's an honor and a privilege to meet you, sir.
I know.
And a movie based on his improbable life and career, The Theory of Everything, in 2014. And that's your entertainment wrap-up for NBC News Radio. I'm Andrew Caravella.
You've tuned in to KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
And now it's time to batten down the hatches, because here comes more of Mark Westwood and On the Mark Live. 3, 2, 1, Mark.
I will turn on my microphone now.
Batten down the hatches.
That's right. KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 and 102.3 FM. I'm Mark Westwood, the host of the radio show called On the Mark, hence the name. And I'm delighted to have a co-host today, Andrew Caravella, who's one of our new staff members. We got Carlos in the control room. Yeah. And we just heard from Amy Lynn D'Amano. And music therapy is a very interesting thing. We're going to have her back, and she's actually going to do some demonstration for us. Want to send a shout out while we're here in the middle here to Nico's La Mexicana ice cream shop. They're coming on and next week,
I guess I'm going to have to practice that name then, because
Yes.
I don't know what you
Nicho.
just said.
Nico. His name is Ernesto, actually.
Okay.
Or Rodrigo. They're the owners of it. They're two brothers that own it. It's in downtown Redlands on State Street. Great ice cream.
Okay.
And let me tell you, they're going to be on here, and we're going to have one part of the show that's ice cream.
Great. So we have samples.
Right. We're going to have some samples. I worked that in there. And then the second part of the
We
show.
added to it over the.
Yeah.
And then the second part of the show is about pickleball from Loma Linda University, and it's
Okay.
it's an activity. It's an actual activity.
Okay.
They're going to describe it to me too. I don't know exactly what pickleball is,
Cool.
but we're going to have ice cream and pickles next week. So I had to work that in.
Also, the assistant sheriff,
And we have the assistant sheriff as well.
first female for the county.
First female for the county.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I got that wrong. That's going to be your sheriff interview is going to be next week, which is the 21st, I believe.
Okay.
And then after that, we're going to have pickles and ice cream.
That's okay.
I'm just so excited.
As long as the ice cream
I
is
stepped it
somewhere
up.
in there.
That's right. I stepped it up. We
I
got
want to
that
come
all
back
arranged.
for that one. Or I may go visit. I'll get the address from you. I'll go visit after this.
Yeah, you know, I feel a little
Yeah.
pregnant here. So, and ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce, with no further ado, Dr. Enrique Murillo, who is from the Latino Education and Advocacy Days and California State University, San Bernardino. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be here. This is our 9th year putting on our event.
And like Joe Biden says, this is a big deal. And it is. It's like 3 or 4 or 5 days. There's a series of events.
Yes,
It's a marathon.
It's in the 9th year.
it is.
And it is educational. It is very enjoyable. And, you know, in this temperature and in this climate that has been kind of, and I hate to bring the guy up.
Oh, gosh. Here it goes.
The guy we kicked out of California this morning, who insulted our governor and,
We'll just say the guy. We know who he
yeah,
we know who
you
it
know,
is, the
fired
guy.
the Secretary of State.
Number
on Twitter.
45.
Yeah.
There you
Anyway, this kind of hate, I posted on my Facebook, Mr. Hate, get out of our state. Wants to build a wall, whatever. This kind of generated animosity. This kind of, empowering and emboldening some people that are just plain haters.
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
they're not the rule, though. Most people love other people and love new cultures and love to new experience new things. I cannot picture the world without Latino people, whether it be food, culture, music. I have people in my family that have married into my family who are Latino. I've loved Latino.
There you go.
And I you know, they are wonderful people. And that's what we need to listen to, and that's what we need to experience. And that's why it's kind of important that maybe you expose yourself to this. If you're not exposing yourself to this too much, other than going to Del Taco, that's not Latino culture. And it really is.
What's sad is there's some people who think that is.
Yes.
There are people. Maybe not California, but other parts of the country.
right.
Del Taco is, hey, let's eat Mexican tonight. And-
Taco
No,
Bell.
everyone knows that that's a Barstow thing, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm dying for an Anchorito now.
Oh, man.
But no, I got to tell you, some of the experiences I've had. This is going to be my 4th year up there, and we dedicate and ourselves to doing this to help get the word out, to help educate, to help learn, to help be part of our community. And the Aztec dancers that were up there were just incredible last year. Some of the speeches, some of the people we've heard from, we've talked to, ambassadors. This year, I believe we have United States Assembly. No, a California Assemblywoman.
Oh,
And-
yes. Yeah, well, we have a week long of activities. The big day is the summit.
Right.
The one on Thursday.
That's-
But we have an event on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We skip Friday because that's a holiday
Right.
in California, the Chavez holiday.
No, it's a big deal.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Saturday we end with the Chavez breakfast. So at the Chavez breakfast is when we have Senator Connie Leyva and Assemblywoman Eloise Reyes.
Right.
Yeah.
So the big keynote speaker on the 29th.
We have a few.
Uh-huh.
We have four women, and this year it's a women's theme. It's called Viva la Mujer. So in
Okay, let me
Spanish,
say that. Viva la mujer.
there you go, Viva la Mujer. Viva is like when you say Viva Mexico or Viva
Right, we
la
know that,
Raza is
yeah.
like onward or you know.
This is the year of the women. This is
Yeah.
very
It is.
apropos.
It is. And what's funny is, well, not funny, but I mean, is we were on the pulse
Ironic,
a year ago
yeah.
because the day after we finished our summit and our activities, the very next day, we debrief and we talk about, okay, what is next year's theme?
Mm-hmm.
And the women basically had gotten together and said, you know what, we need to have a woman's theme next.
Mm-hmm.
And this was all before everything that was that's happened through the last 6 months
Mm-hmm.
with the whole Me Too and all the stuff in Hollywood and all the things. So the women in our group were very much on the cusp of something new that really wasn't in the social imagination yet or in the public sphere, but they knew we had to have, it's very important. And the reason why it's also important is because our focus is the crisis in Latino education. Most people don't realize is that although Latinos, you know, we're a great majority in California, of course. You know, look at the public schools. Even where we're at the Cal State, at the college level, we're now 61% of the undergraduate population, and in many places, demographically, we're there.
Mm-hmm.
And so the numbers are there, but the actual educational attainment is not proportional. So there's a lot of Latinos in sheer numbers, but we're not graduating at the same rates as the other groups, the other ethnic groups.
I think it's getting a little better. I hope it's getting a little better. You do have Dr. Morales, who's your university president up there. You're getting some good representation up there. That's good to see. But yeah, we need to turn out more high school graduates.
Yeah.
We need to turn out a better, higher educated population.
And it benefits everybody.
And it benefits everybody.
Yeah, because who's going to
benefits the economy.
There you go. Our economy would collapse if
Right.
it weren't that the case. And the reason why it's connected, importantly for women, even though the girls and the females are doing better, they're faring better than the guys, but there's no better correlation to the success of the children than the mother. Right. So if we look at the unit, the whole family unit, if we can pay adequate attention to the women and how are the women doing, that affects the whole family. And of course, and so it's correlated, so we can practically predict the success of the child just based on where the mother's at. And so we need to focus on the women, even though they're doing a little bit better than the guys, but they're doing a lot worse than all the other than comparing all the women from all the other groups. I mean, Latinas are still making 60 cents to the dollar, you know, as a man.
Right.
And it's still have the least health care coverage, highest rates of poverty, those kinds of things. And so if we look at education, not just at schools, because most people think of schools, they think, oh, that's education. But no, we're talking about education in the larger sense. So education is connected to arts and culture and
exposure to that.
Yeah, exposure. Yes, and it's created to systems of employment and where you are in the labor market. Education is related to health, and all those things. So we look at it globally.
So you've been intrigued and you're listening out there, and you're not matriculated. In other words, you're not enrolled at California State University, San Bernardino. You can attend this if you're just a member of the community.
Yes.
Is there a price or a fee or
no,
anything?
It's absolutely free. We work hard
That's a good
all
price.
year round, and we recruit sponsors. And so we have dozens and dozens of sponsors. Even if it's a couple hundred here, a couple thousand there, I mean, there's all sorts of support that we receive. The university gives us support.
I think you even had free bus rides or something there.
There we go. Yes, I saw that today. Today, the Omnibus folks here in our area, they give us free bus tickets. So it's if you go in your car, it's free to park. It's free to attend. we're even going to feed you for free. I mean, we're going to have free lunch.
Hey, I'm
right?
all about
And
that.
there's no
I'll
such
be there.
thing, and they say there's no such thing as a free lunch, but
Did you see how he lit up over
right?
there?
I'll be there.
There you go, the free lunch.
I'll be there for sure.
Well, you guys are going to be in the green room, so you guys are going to have food and snacks all day, so you guys don't have to worry
Oh.
about that.
I had that
Right.
in mind,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I mean, it really sounds like one of probably the biggest Latin gatherings in the Inland Empire.
It's the whole world, I guess,
Yeah.
because we actually
Yeah, listen to this, Andrew.
Yeah.
we are housed in the College of Education at
Okay.
California State University San Bernardino, but we are a hub of a larger network.
Yeah.
So we have 1,600 universities who are connected to us across 40 countries.
Watching
Wow.
this online.
Right. So
That's crazy.
So we got 40 countries watching us during the day, and if they don't get to watch us live, they can watch it on demand after the fact.
Wow.
And then, of course, we have the 5.3 million listeners that you all bring to the table. So you guys
It
are
helps.
there live, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
5
Right.
point-
3 radio
approximately
stations.
3 radio stations.
Plus our online presence.
There you go. And we have a partnership with the NPR folks. So
Oh,
the NPR
yeah.
come, they do radio and TV. We have a partnership with Spectrum, so it appears on their government channels. So we have all these different media partners that exposes us to a larger folks. So if you think about it, our summit, in a sense, is sort of like a TV audience or a radio audience.
Yeah.
You know, remember
Yeah.
if you think about radio, the way to do radio back in the day, you'd have an audience and everybody would be watching the radio program. That's sort of like the way it is with you guys.
In universities,
Yeah.
there's a lot of teleconferencing that goes on. There's a lot of video conferencing that goes on, and this is part of a worldwide video conference.
Wow.
They
So-
have cameras set up.
So what
video
you're saying is
switches.
I'm going to get seen a lot. I mean, you know,
you're
we're
on the
all going to
radio.
get seen a lot.
There you go.
You're going to have to walk across the camera. Are we going to have the Aztec dancers again this year?
Not this year,
Oh,
no.
that's
No,
too
the
bad.
reason why we usually do have the Aztec dancers, but this year we changed it, the format a little bit. The women, since it's a women's leadership, the women designed it. They said, no,
Okay.
this is the way we want it, right?
Okay.
So the men, we had to take a quick lesson and kind of back off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So they designed it where they want round tables in the room. So instead of as in years past, where there's almost
Theater style.
like theater styles, we're going to have most of the room's going to be round tables.
Oh.
So that's reduced our attendance, but we want people to stay in the room. We noticed in years past, some people come in and out, and then after lunch, they go off, and then they're late to come back. And so the women on the team designed it this year. They said, no, we're going to have round tables, and we're going to keep everybody in the room. So when it's lunchtime,
Everybody's going to feed there.
we're going to feed them.
Oh, right there.
For free, right? So
Wow.
that way they don't leave after lunch. They're in the room. And then we shorten the day as well.
And is this during spring break again?
It's during our spring break.
So the students won't be on
the
campus.
students will not be on campus. And
So parking will be pretty easy.
there you
Yeah,
go.
okay.
And you can get a free parking pass.
Yes.
You go online to...
Yes, or I'll send. If you register, you will be sent. In fact, in the next few days, you will be sent a parking pass that you print out, and you have, you put it on the dashboard, visibly so the police can see it. And if you don't have it or forgot it, then you just go to the kiosk and say, "I'm here for lead," and then they just give you one right there, and you park for free.
Viva la mujer.
Mujer.
Mujer. Oh, God, I got that. I just butchered that. Viva la mujer. And it's the Lead Summit 9, Thursday, March 29th. And it is the Latino Education Advocate Days. It's a whole series of things up there at California State University. Monday is the Binational Parent Leadership Institute Colloquium.
Yes.
And that's a mouthful.
Colloquium, yes.
Colloquium, I didn't say that right. And then Tuesday, Catholic Schools and Expo and Career Day. And those are leading up to Wednesday, and something called the Puente Project, which
Yes.
I would love to talk about
Yes.
next.
So Puente.
And we're talking, by the way, with
Yeah.
Dr. Enrique Maria. I'm having trouble today. I'm sorry. Dr. Enrique Maria, and he is the coordinator and director of this huge event. Has been doing it for years up there, doing a great job. So tell us about the Puente Project.
Okay, so Puente is a project that exists in other states, but it started here in California first. And they are both at the high school level and the community college level. But the origins of Puente is to help community college students transfer over to the 4 years. So for not just for Latinos, but for all the groups in general, many of the students of color or even white working class kids, they end up going to the community college first, right? Mm-hmm. But just because they're at the community college doesn't automatically mean that they flow to the next level. Mm-hmm. Many of them go to the community college, and then that's as far as they go. And so the Puente helps get these students to get through the community college so then they can move over to the 4-year. Mm-hmm. And so that's very important because otherwise the pipeline, that's where the pipeline leaks the most, at the community college.
Right.
Yeah.
Very interesting here in San Bernardino and in Redlands, but in this area we have a really kind of unique project, Andrew, and I'm sure Dr. Maria knows about this too, and that is that they have the prep high school down by San Bernardino Valley College. They built this little high school, tore down a whole neighborhood, built a high school right across from San Bernardino Valley College. Mm-hmm. Then they have San Bernardino Valley College, which is a 2-year school.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people from Valley College automatically kind of transition, but not always, to California State University, San Bernardino. Mm-hmm. So I can see why you need this bridge kind of program called the Puente Project.
Puente means bridge in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
There it is.
La Puente, all these years.
That's being on the mark.
La Puente is La
there you
Bridge.
go, the bridge.
Where's the bridge in La Puente?
I'm sure there must have been one at some point.
I mean, you come over. Down there with the low riders.
There you go.
La Puente, man. Yeah, I grew up in Southern California. I went to San Bernardino High School, all that. So, I got to tell you, this is kind of a neat thing, folks. Don't pick a day, any day. Monday through Saturday, except for Friday because they're not going to be up there because this is Cesar Chavez's birthday and they're commemorating that.
Yeah.
And you will find something great up there.
There you go.
Something to expand your universe, expand your world, embrace differences in culture, embrace people in general, because people are just people. It doesn't matter about their, whatever the melanin in their skin is, whether it's dark or light. People are people, and I don't mean to get too preachy, but we see a lot more on that other side of some sort of a strange agenda where I think, and I'm going to get a little political here, and I apologize for this.
Here we go.
But I'm a political person.
Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed that Mark Westwood, the first vice chair of the Democratic Party in San Bernardino County, would get political? But, I talked to somebody, and this is a good perspective. I ran into him in Yucaipa, which is not exactly a really, liberal area. That's where I live. Anyway, and this guy was talking about he was going to move, he and his wife, to Utah. And I said, why are you moving to Utah? And he says, because I'm going to work for a company that's going to build the wall. Oh. And I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, they haven't even... I got into an instant debate with him.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I was the fly on the wall for that.
This was at a Super Bowl party, by the way.
Wow.
And I said, so they haven't even approved the funding for this. Who knows if they're really going to build this? Yeah. But you're going to move your entire fund? Oh, yeah, because these companies are bidding on it right now. And this is not about anything else but making money.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part about it. Mm-hmm. They're victimizing, our dreamers, the people that were brought here by their parents, that have been students, that have attended, 6 years of school.
Which, there's nothing wrong with making money, just not at the expense of others.
Right.
Yeah.
and so you see this, and, this is why it's so important to attend something like this, to embrace something like this, because it speaks out. It speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Against this. Mm-hmm. And,
And the wall is actually a symbol of white supremacy.
Right.
So
it's hatred.
It's a hatred, yeah.
Mm-hmm. These people who think that they're somehow more entitled because of their melatonin in their skin.
And what's going to happen is if, let's say, the wall gets constructed, there's already a border. There's already things.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a couple of walls in places.
Yeah. But, borders... more than keep people out, they keep you in. So really, it's
exactly
it's gonna bring so much damage. And just as it is, our current president has really shamed our country to the levels that are just untold. It's just you can't just imagine. Just imagine a previous president who's done anything that this current president has done. It would be already gone. The person would be gone.
I learned so much on this show.
Yeah, and it is just something that has to be said. It may be brought up. at this event? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
An event conducted by women who are passionate, and Latina women are really passionate. And,
Well, then we'll let them handle it.
Yes.
I'm sure they will.
They will, because the moms will be up there.
They'll handle
their
business.
children, I just can't imagine, had March 8th passed and Donald Trump had gotten his way, that we would be deporting young students.
Oh, yes.
And thank God we have a justice system and things
wow,
that-
yes. If it weren't for that,
Yeah.
it'd be something like, I don't know.
Trail of Tears is what this would be.
There you go. It'd be hundreds of, like 1,200.
Like 800,000, you
day.
know.
Yeah, but like every day it would be, like in the hundreds.
Oh,
Every
yeah,
day
yeah.
Their DACA would expired, and then they become, they would revert to a status where they're vulnerable to be deported.
And, we see this now. It's happening more and more. It's more prevalent, especially down in Imperial County in San Diego. We don't see it too much up here. But where ICE is just stopping along the streets and plucking somebody off the street. I saw a video with a young mother right in front of her children. They didn't care what's happening to the children.
Exactly.
They just scooped up the mother and took the mother. This is not storytelling. This is not fake news, folks. This is happening. And we need to stop it. And the way you stop it is to become involved. You become involved and you learn by immersing yourself. So go to the Latino Education and Advocacy Days in good spirits, with love in your heart. Learn, open your minds.
Empty tummies. You want to go to it with empty
Well,
tummies?
that's true, too, because we're going to have food and we're going to have culture, and I imagine there will be a little bit of music. And
There sure will.
And you're
There'll
going
be
to
there'll
learn
be music and
a lot.
food and everything, and good and courageous conversations.
And they've made it very easy. You can ride the bus up there for free.
There you go.
You can go online and get a parking pass. And if you want to learn more about this, what is the online source?
Just
that
go
goes
to leadsummit.csusb.edu.
leadsummit.csusb.edu.
It's Cal State University, San Bernardino.
Right, you can Google that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just you don't need the URL. Just Google it. It's
Yeah,
gonna
just
come up.
if you
Comes right up.
if you go to Lead Summit, it should be the first thing.
Right. Yeah,
that
it will
pops up.
be. It
Yeah.
will be. And Dr. Enrique, you are just a delightful person. I always enjoy
You're
working
just
with
too kind.
you. And a good spirit and good mind and a good heart and dedicated.
There you
Does
go.
an outstanding job at this summit every year, and this is its 9th year.
Our 9th year, although I've been doing this for decades, but it's our 9th year where we actually said, you know what, we got to change it up. The old advocacy is great, but we have to figure out new ways to become advocates for our communities. So technology and just imagine, we were, I think, the first people on our campus to webcast. People didn't even realize, what does it mean to webcast?
What's a webcast?
Yeah, what is that? We back in the day, I think I was the 4th to have a web page. So imagine, I don't know
That's
how
a
many
while
years
back.
ago was it, the web pages?
I was one of the first people to connect a web page with a campaign.
Oh, there you go.
And the current city attorney and San Bernardino, James Penman, just ridiculed me in the newspaper for that.
Really?
That's ridiculous waste of time. People don't. And now look.
Wow.
Nobody's without one.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I built one of those first web pages.
Yes.
And
Last year we were the first one. Of course, people have been doing Facebook Live for maybe a year and a half, but we teamed up with Stage 10, and we were the first ones to create a Facebook Live at a larger scale. We had 70,000 people watching our Facebook Live feed last year during the day.
Yep.
So we can imagine that, and so I mean, this is a larger. So it's not just your individual, telephone, but to connect it with the larger cameras and make it available like that.
So KCAA will be up there with Aaron Brinker, host of our morning show,
And Andrew Caravelli,
and Andrew Caravello. I will be
entertainment
up there,
reporter.
in and out, and helping coordinate, bringing a little bit more up there, and we'll be in the green room or near the green room.
There you go.
With food.
broadcasting
You'll be in
live,
the green
doing
room.
reports,
In the green room, yes.
and
Direct access to all the VIPs, all the dignitaries,
Oh,
Yes.
great.
all the
Good.
speakers. That's it.
Antonio Villagrosa last year, I interviewed him.
Oh, is he
Oh.
coming
I
back?
actually interviewed Eloise Reyes, who's a friend of mine anyway,
Ooh.
but before she was a state assemblywoman.
You'll have to introduce me to these people.
Yeah, you're going to meet a lot of
They'll all
impressive
be
people.
there.
Very
They'll
cool.
all be there. It's like
Good.
a who's who.
Bishop Gerald Barnes was there,
There you
last
go.
year.
Yes.
And
Who's who.
we met him at the dinner the night before, and he's always been a friend too. So it's good to see all this. We got just about another minute or so. Quick parting words, Dr. Murillo.
Hey, viva la mujer. It means long live women. Because you know what? None of us would be here if it weren't for a woman.
Absolutely. We just had International Women's Day just a few
There
days
you
ago.
go.
The women's marches have been powerful, and I invite you to come up to this. This is Thursday, March 29th is the big day, the LEAD Summit, but it's an all-day-long thing. Google LEAD Summit, and you can find all kinds of information about it. Thank you, Dr. Maria, for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you to our person from Hope Music Studios, Amy Lynn DiMano, from earlier in the show. Thank you to Carlos for running the show.
Yeah, Carlos.
And I'm Mark Westwood. Thank you to Andrew Caravella, and we're signing off for KCAA 1050 AM 102.3 and 106.5 on the mark. Up next, the Sports Circus on KCAA.
Thank you for listening to On the Mark Live, hosted by Mark Westwood, a weekly show about this station, hot topics, local motion, and the world around us. Join us next week as we hop back on the KCAA Express for another ride on the Mark.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show.